channel. And today I really want to touch on the topic of how to overcome imposter syndrome while in tech, as a woman in tech. So if this is your first time here, I normally talk about all things corporate, all things networking, and anything corporate or professional, as well as travel, food, and things like that. So I'm new to YouTube, but over time I hope that these videos do get better, and I'm trying to stay consistent. So don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I did take notes on my phone, so let's jump right into it. So overcoming imposter syndrome as a shy woman on her journey while working in tech. So I do have a few bullet points, but I want to just maybe start off with telling my story. So I did a YouTube video about this before. I've been in tech for the past 4 years, and I always kind of feel out of place because tech is normally a male-dominated industry. So I always kind of feel like an imposter. But I've learned things on my journey on how I overcame it, right? How I overcame shyness while in the workplace. So overcoming imposter syndrome, it can be challenging, of course, and especially while you're in the tech industry. I think that working in the tech industry in itself is really tedious, and it's overwhelming when you have to learn so many different things in regards to the products and services, let alone feeling like an imposter while at work. That should be the last thing you should really be thinking about, because you should be focused on work, right? So let's jump right into it. I think the first advice I would give to someone who wants to overcome shyness while in the workplace is to seek a mentor. Find someone who maybe be in a similar field as you, maybe do some of the similar things like you do, and kind of just ask for someone who maybe can help you, and ask how they overcame things. Maybe allow them to talk more about their experience, and and just ask for tips and advice on what they would do if they were in your situation. So I think it's really important to seek a mentor and maybe tell them how you feel, and maybe they can give you good advice. So the first one would definitely be seeking a mentor. I think the second one would be focus on your strengths. I think it's really hard for us to kind of focus on negativity, and it's easy for us to be really critical of ourselves. But I think I think it's important maybe to make a list of skills that you have, a list of positive skill sets that you have that will add value to the workplace. Skills, the reason you got hired, because you should be there because they saw your value. So I think it's important to write a list and journal down all your positive qualities about yourself that add value in the workplace. And anytime you're feeling discouraged, this skill set or this list of skill sets can kind of remind you that you are valued, and it reminds you of everything that you're good at. So I think it's really important to kind of focus on those kind of things as well. And I think it's really important as well is to set realistic goals for yourself. Also set realistic career goals for yourself as well. If you only have 2 years in your position in tech, you don't want to try to be a regional manager yet. So I think it's really important to break down your goals, set realistic goals for yourself, and set these goals in smaller pieces. That way, when things come together, you will have been able to achieve something even bigger and greater than what you originally set out to be. And this will also help you, by setting smaller goals, this will help you focus on the big picture, and it will really help you accomplish some of your long-term goals just by focusing on even the smaller goals. Another thing, I think this is one I really like the most, is to practice self-compassion. Like, it's really important to just be kind to yourself, because sometimes the world isn't kind to us, so it's important to be kind to ourselves a lot of times. I think a lot of things that I like to do in regards to this is, like, take a self-care day. Maybe you would need a mental health day, right? So don't forget to take time off for yourself. Maybe a pamper day where you're just getting your nails done, getting your hair done. I think something that I really like to do while I was working for my Girl Focus is I'll go to salt caves. I'm not sure if they have those everywhere, but I know in Utah they had a really great salt cave that I just go in to relax and listen to music and meditate. So it's important to kind of show compassion to yourself, because if you don't do it, no one else will. And the fifth thing I wanted to talk about is to challenge your negative thoughts towards yourself. So if you're having negative thoughts, negative feelings about, being shy, or maybe I'm not good enough, or, do I deserve this position? I think it's important to challenge those thoughts. And it's important to recognize those thoughts, but also just replace self-critical thoughts with more positive critical thoughts. I think it's important to, like, journal all your thoughts, but also come back them with more positive thoughts and things that will really help you become a greater person. Rather than saying negative things, challenge it. Maybe I'm too shy, maybe I can't speak at a board meeting, or challenge it and say maybe I'm the best one in the room. So just making sure you're confident in the things you're talking about. Make sure you feel confident. Make sure you're thinking thoughts that are more confident, that are more bold, like, I can do this. You never know if you can really help other people if you become a great person, if you become the person you want to be. And if you think you are, then maybe you really are, because your thoughts create your reality. So it's really important to kind of think positive thoughts and also speak positivity over your own life, and that way it will manifest in the actual, in the real world, right? Another thing I guess I wanted to talk about was build confidence through skills and development. It's important to maybe take courses, maybe do workshops, to participate in online communities, have a community of yourself. Maybe it's women in tech, Facebook groups, or, it could be anything, women workshops, tech workshops. I know they have morning brew at a lot of companies where you wake up an hour before work and you just join your coworkers, and just talking about, your goals for the day, and maybe do some icebreakers and things like that. But I think it's really important to grow your skills with people around you, so that way you guys can develop and grow together. So it's really important to have a community of people where you're learning new skills and building and developing yourself within your workplace. So, because if you have all the skills you need to know in the workplace, you will be more confident and things like that. It's one thing I've been working on as well, is being surrounded with supportive colleagues and friends and mentors, and that way they will encourage you and uplift you. I have a really good friend, Olivia. She's always giving me good ideas. She's always encouraging me. Even when I'm not feeling as confident, she's the one that's telling me, you got this, you can do it, you're great at what you're doing. So it's important to have people around you to just encourage you, and just making sure you have a supportive group of friends and colleagues, and just in general a good supportive professional, even if it's a professional relationship with some people that really believe in you. So that's really important, to surround yourself with great people who support you. And the last one would be, I love this one the most for sure, is to practice assertiveness. So working on inserting yourself into these spaces without being asked is really important. As far as in meetings, you want to make sure you're speaking up. If they ask a question, you probably will want to be one of the people who answer the question. And just in presentation and things like that, you speak and you're participating. You're not always in the background, being shy, but you're the one that's kind of leading the meeting, the one that's having those innovative ideas, that's having those creative ideas, And that way people can see you and you'll feel more comfortable the more you talk to people, and the more people realize you and recognize you, you will begin to be more confident the more you begin to put yourself out there and be more assertive. I think it's really important to express yourself in meetings and things like that, as well as just perfect yourself in any way that is necessary to really any way that is necessary. So I think that if you are confident and assertive, a lot of people would say you're a bitch. A lot of people would say things like you're aggressive and things like that, when in reality you're assertive. Like, it's important to take the initiative. A lot of times, even if it's in meetings and things like that, you kind of will want to be that person who know for sure, I know what I'm talking about, I'm educated on what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm saying is probably can add value to the conversation. So it's really important to be assertive in a lot of situations. I'm not saying you have to always be the one that's talking, but it's important for you to also be the one who's adding value, who's asserting themselves in conversations and presentations and things like that. So those were kind of about the 5 or 6 tips that I had, in which I think that it would be really good if you can build your confidence and show initiation on how to just develop yourself and overcome imposter syndrome. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.